today's the day, the first stream of 2026. My New Year's Eve and New Year's Day was kind of insane. We wanted to, how do I even, so first of all, I went to a little party with Tob, Ross, Kiwi, and stuff, and we went to a fucking castle. A castle, like an actual castle, bro. It was at a castle. And this was my first time really like being at a party with people that I don't know like at all, and I don't even remember the last time this has happened to me. The only people that I knew were like Tob and them. There was like a dress code to be medieval or something, and we didn't have anything to dress like that, and afterwards we were gonna go to a rave because a DJ that I like, it's called like Countdown. Yeah, there's a DJ that I like that we didn't even end up seeing because they didn't allow in and outs. So we didn't even get. We were just gonna show up, dance for 20 minutes, and then leave, pretty much. So we didn't really have anything to dress up beyond that. And so we went to this little party to do New Year's, go there afterwards. And then there was this one trend that we saw on TikTok where there are some spas that are open 24 hours a day. And so we would end the night by going to a spa and just sleeping there and then going home. So we didn't actually end up getting home until 8:30 on New Year's Day. And it started after I went to dinner with my dad. I got dinner with my dad, and then I said, all right, see you on the other side, bucko. And me and Avery and Hami, we got dressed and we were ready to go meet up with the girls. And we make it over to this party, and immediately I don't recognize anybody. And I was like, goody. Oh my God, just my favorite. Oh my God, oh my God, I'm so happy. And prior to this party, I felt like I was gonna drink a good portion and I didn't want to go crazy. So I did what I do when I plan to drink a lot, and I ate a bunch of carbs. So I had pasta and garlic bread, and I was full. I was ready, which means the average Numi stream in which I have a cute little buzz is usually 1.5 to 2 Trulies, because I'm on an empty stomach. But when I do actually eat very well, I can drink a lot. Or if I get drunk, I'm still pretty aware of what's happening around the world and shit like that. So the first thing that happens, we step inside and we notice almost everybody dressed up. And I said, oh shit, we're already screwing up. I look around, I don't know anybody aside from, I saw, Ross, but he was talking to people at the time, and I was like, oh fuck, give me tequila. Yeah, I brought tequila to give as a gift, but I was the first to drink from it. I said, fuck that shit, give me that. And I'm like, Avery, cheers. Gulp. And then Tob finds us, and I was like, oh, Tob, you want to take a shot? And then she got me this mango tequila from Mexico as a gift, and it tasted like juice. It was so good. I drank like 2 of those, and then I had a White Claw from Hami, and we are looking through this castle after we found the gang, and this place was gigantic, and it didn't make any sense, the layout of the house, like at all. But we were just looking around and saying, damn, this really is a castle. That's crazy as hell. And there were a bunch of random little rooms dude, I don't even know what it's called, but the pointed part of the castles? There's a little room right under that little cylinder part. But in this case, in this castle house, both of those pointed parts just only had room for a bed. So it was just a bed that could be with a door that could lock, like the part on the left and the right. So we got to that part of the house, and it was literally just a circular bed and a lock and like a light. That was it. And then they would say like, do not disturb, right? They would say like, do not disturb. And that's just so you guys know for later. And Todd was like, yeah, the doors are locked, I wouldn't go in there. And they say like, don't disturb. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And we go into this one room on like the 3rd floor, and there was 2 trays of Jello shots. At this point, I think I had 3 or 4 shots. I had some White Claw. I think I had about 6 to 8 of those little Jello shots and a Mountain Dew seltzer. And I didn't even get really drunk. So, you know, I was like a good drunk, but the tolerance was crazy. Yes. I was just trying to get to a point where I could be okay to talk to people because I was so freaked out and nervous and overstimulated. But there was this one bathroom, and I went into that bathroom, and that's where I took a bunch of my selfies on the toilet, and then I sent to Mish, and then my mom and my dad and my brother. I was like, guys, I'm peeing and pooping in a castle. And they said, wow, okay. Did I talk to a cute girl? I did. There was like this group of Filipino people there. They were like, yeah, we're Filipino people. Yeah. Philippines. And I said, wow, Filipino. And they're like, oh my God, Filipino. We were like, yeah. And we're like, oh my God, wow. And then I met some guy who was friends with this really pretty girl that was there. But that girl, she was like out of this world. Like she was not with us. She was not with us. I helped her find a bathroom, and that was it. She's like, no, like, I'm just like here. I'm just here. You know, I'm feeling crazy right now. I'm like, okay. It's nice to meet. I'm anime. I'm an anime. She's like, oh, okay. If you guys wonder how I introduce myself, they're like, oh, I just work as a front desk worker. And I'm like, well, I'm anime. And they don't even get what I mean. They're like, okay, what the fuck? All right. So that was how I introduced myself. And we ended up spending a bunch of time on the rooftop when it was raining. It would just be me, Ross, Tob, Hami, just talking about whatever, vibing. And then we did the New Year's countdown all together. And we were like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you know, Happy New Year. And it was very cute. I spent it with my friends, and we were very happy. And then after that was when the alcohol finally was hitting. And we were like, oh my God, it's time to go to the little club. And we get our little Uber. We say goodbye to everybody. And then I spoke to like 2 or 3 people. Yeah, guys. That I didn't know. Yep. 2 to 3 people. Yep. The one Filipino guy and his friend. Yes, thank you. And then right before we left, there was this girl in a dress, and I was like, oh my God, you look so good. And she's like, you are so beautiful. Thank you. And then I left. First day of 2026, and somebody called me pretty. We are out here. That we are making a difference in this world. But before that, me and Tob were looking at this thing again. We were looking at this, the do not disturb sign. And Tob looked at me and she's like, yeah, I kind of want to open it and see if there's anything inside this one, because the one on the left had a bed, but we didn't know what the one on the right had. Do not disturb. And then Tob was all, gosh, I kind of really want to know what's inside of there, but I know it says do not disturb. Me, with the drinks finally hitting me, just looked at her and I said, okay, we'll open it. And then I go to the handle and I pull it open, and the first thing I see is like 2 people, and one of them is not wearing a shirt under the covers. And I said, ooh! And then I just immediately turned around and ran into the room, and I tried to close the door really quickly. It did not close. It just opened up even wider because of the wind, and the person that was left there to deal with it was Tob. I left my brother. I saw her pushing the door closed, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh my God, guys, the pizza's here. Let me grab the pizza really quick. But anyways, where was I? Oh yes, I potentially walked in on 2 people making love by accident. That was my bad. But then, guys, we went back on the rooftop, and it was like me and Ross and Hami and one of Tobs' mods. But we were all just talking in a circle. And then I don't understand this, by the way. I don't understand. So we're talking there, but it's not just us. There's a group of people up here. It's us, maybe some people in the hot tub. You know, there are people just chilling and talking to each other. And then we have our little area. This couple comes upstairs. I felt like maybe they had tunnel vision and didn't see that there was 20 people on this roof. They just walked past us to the corner and just started making out like crazy in the corner, right behind Ross. like right behind Ross, and Ross is like in the middle of telling us this detailed story, and then I just hold my phone up and I take a picture. I'm like, Ross, smile, Ross, smile. He's like, why? I'm like, just smile, And then I take a picture with him smiling with a couple making out in the background. And he was like, did you just take a picture of me while there was a couple making out in the background? That is so, I can't believe you would do that to that couple. Send it to me later. Oh, so funny, bro. I just, maybe there was, that couple thought it was them against the world. Like, good for them, honestly, good for them. But they were heavy going at it. Normally, normally you would go into one of those rooms, but it seems that wouldn't have kept people out anyway because of... Hello? Good for them. I didn't really want to look. Like, it was more like Ross is talking to me and they're right behind him going crazy. And I'm trying to focus on him, but there's just... this couple just right behind him. At that point, too, I think we lost Hami. We left her at this little area by a TV where there was a rhythm game. We were gone for 45 minutes. We go back down. She's still there. And then afterwards... we were finally saying goodbye to everybody, and I recorded a video with Hami being like, like 2025, 2026, that's the year of swag. Like, and at this point, that's when I was probably peak drunk, just chilling, having a good time. You can hear it in my voice because I slur my S's. That's how you could tell I'm like a good drunk, is my S's sound really, really, I'm like, I'm so done with 2025. Yeah. And then afterwards, we said, okay, we did our little head banging in. Okay, time to go to the spa. It was 3 a.m. at this point, 3:30 a.m. We go outside. It's pouring rain. And we're trying to find our car. Avery was supposed to be our DD. He got the most drunk, and so me and Hami had to rock, paper, scissors to see who would drive because we were sober at that point. We were like, well, because, they weren't serving anymore. At that point, I was like, fine, cool. And we were trying to find the car, and we were just going down the streets. And then that's when life felt so beautiful. Life was so beautiful, boys. Our hair, we were drenched. Avery had to, literally take off his shirt so we could use it as an umbrella. And then, I was just happily hopping and spinning around, feeling like we started the year off right because we were just vibing. And then we found the car. Hami drove us to the spa. And then we were so drenched. We get to the spa. We go down to the jacuzzi. That was, quite honestly, the greatest feeling of my life. Wow. I sat in there. I was like, damn. This is it, huh? Hami was like, yeah. And then we went upstairs to the room where everybody's sleeping, and there's just a bunch of other people that were also there at that rave. But we wanted to grab a bite to eat beforehand, and they had a little food stall there. Listen, guys, the man who was working there did not want to be there. He was tired. Abaji was tired, y'all. He was tired. And they had a late night menu. There was a couple soups and then ramyun. I ordered ramyun, and Hami's all, you know what? I'm gonna get this cabbage soup. He said, no, sold out. I was like, do you have rice? He's like, no, sold out. And I was like, you got any juice? No, sold out. I was like, okay, right. Okay, ramyun. And then we ordered the ramyun and just a bottle of water. And so we're just chilling. I wanted to go sit in the back. He's like, no, don't sit there. I was like, okay, you're right. That was stupid of me. Why would I do that? I'll sit in the front. You're right. And so we sit in the front. And we're just chilling. I know man's probably had a crazy day, whatever. It was 5:30 in the morning at that point. Bro was tired. Then this other group of Noombas. When I tell you I don't talk to guys very often, I mean it. Aside from the men in my life today, the only men that I talk to are you guys and the ones that are present in my life currently. So I forget how men talk to each other or how they are in our area until this moment. So me and Hami are sitting at the first table just eating our ramyun, and these three guys come in. Mind you, there's a sign right in the front that says late night menu, meaning that's the only thing that they have available. These guys walk right past that to the other menu during the daytime, like the daytime menu. And the guy was all, wow, this is all available, huh? Oh God, what do I want? Do I want to get some beef ribs? Do I want to get this or that? And then right before they even like came in, there was some girls, that these really nice ladies that we said looked really pretty, that were also trying to order food, and the guy said sold out, only ramyun, and they said, oh, okay, we'll just get the ramyun. So they're just sitting there, and then those guys come up, and this guy, he's just, yeah, what do I want to get? Maybe something like that. Oh yeah, maybe I'll get that. And then his friend said, man, wait, I think there's only like ramyun and stuff available. And the guy said, oh, okay, but I kind of want to get one of these because I think this menu is open. And then they walk out and leave for like 10 minutes. I'm just sitting there looking at him, and then I look at Hami, and then I look back, and the guy just looked like he lost 5 years off of his lifespan, the Abaji guy, you know. And he comes back with his friends 10 minutes later. He comes back and he said, man, is all of this available? What the fuck? What? Guys, I thought I was tripping. I thought that life was a deja vu. I was in a time loop, bro. I was in a time loop. And I looked over at Hami, and I was all, dude, I'm around the Noombas, and you know, I'm gonna glaze you all right here. You may not know how to read, but you guys are very smart, and I don't think you guys would, the chance of that happening to you would be way less, I would say, because I mean, I've been to conventions, and you guys do tend to read in person. At least if there's a sign, you guys will read those signs. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes, you know. I know you guys aren't like that, and a lot of you guys that are, you know, employed Noombas have crazy as fuck jobs. Like, you're engineers, or you're just you know, you're doctors, you're surgeons, you're accountant, you know, like you're smart guys, you know, you're smart dudes. And so I could, you know, I don't know, I just always forget about the guys that are like that. I look at Hobby, I'm like, girl, like, I feel like I'm getting more stupid. What's happening? What's going on? Are we in a time loop? And she's like, girl, I don't know. And then he just again, he's like, maybe I'll get the beef ribs. And oh my God, he did it again. I'm like, bro's gotta be trolling. No, but the other friend at this point says, oh my God, look it, man, like, we don't pay with cash. We use the wristwatches in the beginning. The watch things, like, it's a bracelet that scans and lets you order stuff. They tell you that when you check in that you can use it to buy stuff. I don't think they heard that, because the guy said, well, man, look, you use the watches to buy stuff. And the guy's all, no, I think I'm gonna use cash. Maybe I should get the pasta. I wish, and my headphones were charging at this point. They were dead, so I couldn't tune it out. So I just had to, I was just listening to this and wondering if I was being punked. I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out of a trash can or something. I said, why are they, excuse my language, why are they dumb? Like, why are they being dumb right now? What's going on? I know it's 5 a.m, but they were sober guys. They weren't even fucked up. This dude, he had a stance. You know, manspreading? It was like a manspreading, like, standing pose with his arms folded, looking up, going like, what am I gonna get today? Even though on the sign it says this is what is being served from like midnight to 6 a.m. And then the friend finally notices the sign and says, oh man, I think they only have this available. And then he was like, oh. And so they're going to order, and the guy still tries to order the fucking beefers. Okay, guys, I don't know what your people are really like if they're on stuff that isn't being drunk. So maybe they could have been something else, but I don't really know how to indicate that because I'm not around people that do that stuff. So I don't know. But I think maybe I'm going to hope and pray that they were, so that I wouldn't feel as annoyed by that situation. I don't understand. But I've heard guys in like high school, when I was in high school, and they would talk to each other like that, but I always thought those were like the pothead guys in the corner that I don't know. But I was like, holy shit, I have to be getting pricked right now. And then they tried to order, and the guy said, no, we only have ramyun. And then they had the audacity to make fun of the poor guy afterwards. Oh, it made me so mad. They were like, oh. And then they tried to sit in the back. Ugh, imagine making that poor mistake. And the guy said, no, only sit in the front. And I was like, oh my God, couldn't have been me. Would have never been me. Could have. What? Why would they do that? That's crazy. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me. Dude, I tried to eat faster, but the ramen was spicy, so I couldn't eat faster. I felt like I was being tortured. Eventually, I ate it up. We put this stuff away, and then we went back, and I said, oh, I'm free. We're free. And we were setting up for our little beds. It was warm in there because the floors were heated and stuff. But it felt cozy in the moment until I laid down and remembered that I am somebody who likes to sleep in the cold. I thought maybe it would be different because it was so cold outside. I lay there. I said, God, I hope I can sleep through this because this is kind of hot. Heated floor is fine, but the room must have been 75, 78. I wake up after an hour and I'm sweating. And luckily, this place has saunas and a cold room. I woke up half awake and walked into the ice block room and just sat next to a block of ice for 10 minutes to cool myself down. 78 gross, I'm saying. And then I saw Hami walk in too. She's all, man, it's fucking hot. I said, I know, right? Let's go home. And so we get in the car to go home. And Avery, bro, he was driving and it was the craziest storm that we've driven in. Guys, it does not rain like that in California ever. I don't know what is going on. Climate change go crazy. Climate change go brrr, but it was raining so hard you could barely see. And that was so horrifying. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We made it. We lived. I went right to bed and then I died. And then I woke up at like 12:30. I set up an alarm because y'all, the grind never stops. I gotta get on my grind, you know, guys. I got a schedule to keep now. I'm trying to stream 3 to 4 times a week right now. You know, I'm being consistent 2026. I had to lock in. And Hami woke up at 3. Avery woke up when I was going to dinner with my family. 7:30 p.m. I was all, Avery, you want to get dinner with my family? He's all, I'm feeling a little under the weather, actually. We're supposed to go to dinner at 6 p.m. I said, oh, it's 7:30. He jumped out of bed. He was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Hey, man, you good? You alive? You know, I thought waking up at noon was bad. Yeah, I don't like waking up at noon either, but I knew I needed to have a little bit of sleep in my system. Yeah, and then I went to dinner with my family, and I was updating them on my New Year's. And then, guys. Oh, my God, guys. Little Noombop, Prince Noombop, he was wearing a cute little lumberjack outfit and had a little bow tie and he had little brown little booty shoes. He was so cute. And like his face now is starting to look like a little person. Before he kind of just looked like Mr. Boss's baby from Smiling Friends, but now he actually has a face that he kind of looks like my dad a little bit, which is a little crazy to say because, you know, my brother's like he's my stepbrother, so I was very confused. I was like, why does he look like my dad though? Guys, his eyes are like green. He's about to be the Prince of Wasia. He's about to be the Prince of Wasia. Oh my God, he looks so cute. And then he doesn't cry at all, pretty much, aside from when he's a little hungies, but he doesn't really cry. And then my mom was all, yeah, he doesn't cry at all. He's just like you when you were a baby. I forgot. I locked in very early. I would always talk to my brother and be like, stop crying. Damn, you're so annoying. Like, just, bro, like, chill. Like, stop. While my brother would be crying and causing a scene, I'd be like, bro, chill. Like, we're in public, man. Me being 2 years old, telling my brother to relax. And now we have the wah emo. I was just a little bit of a late bloomer when it came to becoming more in touch with my emotions. He looks at me with eyes full of wonder. It is so freaking cute. And he smiles all the time and he does a little happy dance and he holds onto your finger. And so I gave him my finger and then he was like, oh. And then he held it. And I was like, wow, yeah, how do you feel about that? Yeah, how do you feel? And he just kind of looks at me like, ah. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's a finger, you know, that's crazy. You know, you pull it, I might fart. And he's just like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, I know. could invite you to my birthday party next year, but you'd have to learn how to backflip first, or, you know, wear a propeller hat. And he's just looking at me and he's like, so cute. And I'm waiting for the time where it'll be a good chunk of time before he'll grow out of his next set of clothes, and I'm gonna give him the propeller hat then. I'm gonna give him a whole PowerPoint presentation on Noombas. Guys, it's time for the one time I ever advertise myself. We got a sticker pack, blankets, we got the zip-up hoodies, we got the stickers, we got an embroidered patch, we got some shirts. And guys, look it, there's limited edition signed albums with the photo card. There's only 75 and they're still available. Never mind. And then we have the Yummy plushie. Quick word from our sponsor, me, myself, and I. We have a new Gamer Subs flavor out now called Kissy Kissy Passion that tastes just like me. What? A delicious passion fruit mango. So yum yum. Try for yourself today. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe. Rate this 10 out of 10 stars. And give love to Bao.